Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. In today's video I want to show you how I got to level 200 in Reboot and what content you can focus on to do the same. The monsters in Reboot are different than their regular server counterparts. They have more HP than in the regular server, but give more EXP and drop more mesos. You can't trade in Reboot either, so you're on your own. Fighting monsters that are more than 10 levels above your character also gives a bigger penalty to your damage than in the regular server. You will lose 5% of your damage per level, and this goes up the higher the level difference. You can follow along with SteelSun over here if you'd like. If you are just starting out in Reboot and you want to go all in and make this your main server, I would recommend to work on your Legion and Link skills first. Aim to get a Mercedes, Evan, Aran, Kanna, Demon Avenger, Ark and Hoyong to level 70 to unlock their Link skills. Once the Zero and Beast Tamer classes are available for creation, I recommend creating both of those as well. If you are not sure yet which character you want to main first, I recommend trying out Kanna, Adele, Pathfinder, Demon Slayer, Ark, Angelic Buster, Hoyong or Cadena, who all have pretty high base damage early on. But of course you're free to play whatever class you'd like. My first level 200 on Reboot was Zero and the second one was a Battle Mage. Up to level 30, you shouldn't worry too much about where to train. Depending on where you start your adventure, get to level 30 either in Edelstein, Victoria Island, or depending on the class you picked, in class specific areas like the Ark starter area. Because we're playing as a Battle Mage, we stick around in Edelstein until level 30. You can use the guide menu to teleport around as well. Once you reach level 30 and complete the second job advancement, I recommend to clear the Vienna Strait and Elinel Ferry Academy team dungeons. Both team dungeons reward a nice early cape, face accessory, eye accessory and belt, as well as some mesos and spell traces that can be sold for 5k mesos each. If at any point during this video you feel like you're not really doing enough damage yet, feel free to Starforce your gear. Because you'll earn a ton of mesos from monster drops in Reboot, there's no reason not to Starforce your lower level gear. The costs are low and the bonus stance will help you take down those beefy Reboot monsters just a bit faster. At level 33 you can also get a quest called Do You Know About Pets? In Reboot it is a lot easier to be a free-to-play player than in the regular server, as you're not that reliant on getting Maple points through the meso market. However, having a pet in Reboot is a must. Besides this quest and a boss that can drop a pet, there is actually no way to get a free pet in Reboot, so make sure to accept this quest. You can fight the quest at the light bulb on the left. By the way, if you are enjoying today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more MapleStory content. Make sure to hit the bell notification as well. After reaching level 35, you can also unlock professions. Make sure to harvest veins and plants so you can create your own potions and items. In Reboot you have 3000 AQ and you can learn all professions at the same time, unlike the regular server. After we complete both team dungeons though, it is time to start our grind to level 200. Sometimes players will share MVP buffs in either Hanoy or Easy Sickness. Make sure to grab those for a free EXP buff. You cannot buy double EXP cards in the cash shop in Reboot, so those buffs help a ton. You can also fame someone who's sitting on those level 250 chairs to receive a damage buff, so you can defeat those dummy thick Reboot monsters just a bit faster. Until level 60 I like to train at Fireballs in Ash Covered Lands in Pyrian, or go to the Pyrian excavation site and train at the level 62 Skeledogs and Mummy Dogs. At this point it's still okay to go to monsters like 4 or 5 levels above your level. After reaching third job, our next training spot is the Coppersan Drakes in Sleepywood. If this spot is too busy in your server, you can try the surrounding Drake maps, the Ant Tunnel, or stay at Skeledogs and Mummy Dogs in Pyrian. I stayed at Drakes until level 70 and then I went to Orbis to train in Stairway to the Sky 1. Around level 75 you can also unlock a team dungeon called the Afterlands. This is quite a long and extensive team dungeon, but it rewards permanent totems. I did this quest at a later level and didn't actually finish it because it took too long, but just so you know, this is there and it is a nice way to get some permanent totems. I personally like to go for the Shanghai totems, even though those aren't permanent, but I'll show those later in the video. The next training spot around level 78 would be White Fangs in El Nat. You can also go to the Sandcastle Playground in Akarot, that's a pretty nice map as well. Around level 88 I like to go to the Desert of Serenity in the Nihil Desert. The Scorpion map around there is pretty good as well. Since the monsters are big and strong in Reboot, you should never be able to run out of spawn. The maps are pretty small so it's quite easy to navigate for most classes. The next map that I went to worked pretty well for the class I was playing, for the Battle Mage. This is the Eos Tower floor 100. With teleport it's quite easy to go up and down the platforms, and with right range attacks or a pull like Battle Mage has, training here actually goes quite nice. Another great training spot around this level are the maps around Magatia. After reaching level 100 and completing the 4th job advancement, we go fight the Zakum boss. Using all the EXP buffs that we can find, runes, cards, MVP buffs, we gain a ton of levels in one go after fighting this boss. If you're worried about dying and losing your EXP buffs, you can buy a buff freezer from Mesos in the cash shop so you don't lose any buffs when you die in an unfortunate work accident. Zakum can also drop a face and eye boss accessory, which are great to collect as well. You want to fight Zakum every day until you find one of these items with nice stats. You can also collect boss crystals that way that you can sell in the free market for Mesos. You can also get soul shards and cubes through bossing. All great for upgrading your items and getting those souls. Just make sure to go into normal Zakum. We actually found a really nice weapon when fighting Zakum that we will be using for a while. You should already have some Star Force by now, but you can also Star Force your new weapon right away in case you found any. The next training spot that we're going to is of course a Star Force map. Skynet 2 in Livre is again a nice and compact map where Star Force monsters spawn. These monsters are even stronger, they have even more HP and deal more damage, but they also reward more EXP as well. You can stay in this map all the way until level 110. Before we continue trading, there actually is quite a bit of content that unlocks around this point. At level 100 the Ursus boss unlocks. This giant boss rewards a ton of Mesos, and at certain hours you will be able to get double the Mesos if you help bring him down. Make sure to join the raids when you see a notice. This boss will be one of your biggest sources of Mesos until you can grind for Mesos at higher level maps. From level 101 onwards you can also join a guild. Making friends in Reboot is a must if you want to get into bossing parties at a later stage of the game. Guilds also have guild skills that will make your life a lot easier. Thanks for letting me join there as well, Radiant. At level 105 you will also unlock MapleStory. Even though it has been nerfed recently, you can still use this to gain a lot of Mesos. In MapleStory you run through a couple of maps defeating monsters. The monsters don't reward EXP, but you'll get a ton of Mesos instead. The higher level you are, the more you'll get as well. You can run MapleStory for free twice a day, and additional entries cost Maple points. Another system similar to MapleStory is Monster Park. Here instead of Mesos you'll get a ton of EXP for every clear, as well as a special reward depending on the day of the week. On Sunday you can actually get EXP cards which are really useful to help you train. You can also collect coins in Monster Park that can be used to purchase potions that increase attack speed, EXP and damage, as well as a greed pendant that increases drop rate by 20%. Monster Park can be entered twice a day for free, and you can buy more entry tickets in the cash shop for Mesos because it's Reboot. I am Dutch and we're characterized by our stinginess. We are quite gierig, as we say in Dutch. And the class I was playing is very potion hungry. So we're not going to buy potions, no. We need those Mesos for cubes later on. So instead we're going to the Pianist Cave to fight this big fish boss. With an EXP card active you can easily level up while defeating those bosses. They also drop about 50 reindeer milk and 50 sunset dew with each kill. You can keep changing channels to defeat all of them, just hoping no one else killed them before you. The fish on the right spawns about every 30 minutes and the fish on the left every 45 minutes. In Reboot you can also buy a hyper teleport rock for Mesos, so once you have enough make sure to do so because it will save you a ton of time. You can also train at the Ludibrium Toy Factory or deeper in the Clock Tower at those Star Force monsters. I would recommend dual Ghost Pirates over Robos, but if the Star Force maps are all taken then this map could be an alternative. At level 115 you also unlock the Lion King Castle Team Dungeon. If you're focusing on solo progression and are working on a new main, I actually recommend going here. This area unlocks a new boss and a boss set, as well as another special area where you can get some accessories like earrings, rings and pendants. This area also rewards mastery books upon completion, which will help us save some Mesos. At one point though, during this team dungeon, you'll reach a point where there's no more quest available until you reach a higher level. Or if you didn't care about this whole team dungeon to begin with and you're just training a mule, our next step, and the spot where you should be going to already, is the Star Force maps in Ludibrium for some fast level ups. At level 125 the Root Abyss questline unlocks. I recommend waiting until at least level 140 before going in, just to make your life a bit easier if you can't get carried. This questline rewards mastery books and unlocks 4 bosses. Those will each need to be defeated 10 times before you can face their Chaos versions, which will help you progress towards level 150 gear, so make sure to take them on as early as possible. After we reach level 130, we go back to the Lion King castle to finish up the questline and unlock this boss. It will be a tough battle, even though we fought easy Von Leon, so make sure to come prepared. After defeating Von Leon, you will unlock the Roast Garden. Here you can complete a daily quest to get Roast Garden accessories and Von Leon coins that can be used to purchase Von Leon gear. Personally, I would still go for the Pencilar set later on, but this is a nice in-between until you can find some good Pencilar gear from monsters. Now at this point we already are over level 130, but we don't have a lot of mastery books yet. So we complete the Crimson Heart Castle team dungeon and the Golden Temple team dungeon for some free mastery books. If you already have Mesos and are looking to save time, skip the team dungeons and purchase the mastery books directly from a general store. By now you should have enough Mesos already, so this shouldn't really be a problem to buy them at this point. If you're looking for a nice place to train around level 130, I recommend going to Korean Folktown. The one assigned quest around this area actually rewards a lot of Mesos and experience. However, I would recommend skipping out on the story quest line in this area. It takes a very long time and doesn't really reward anything special. Unless of course, if you want to feel sadness, then I totally recommend doing that one, because it's quite sad actually. We also unlock a new boss, Hilla. Hilla can be fought in Aswan, which you can access through the dimensional mirror. This boss has a chance to drop a box, which then has a chance to contain a pet. Pets are again extremely important in Reboot. Chaos Hilla also has a higher chance to drop a box than normal Hilla, so if you can get carried in Chaos Hilla, then go for it. But if you can't though, there is a more elaborate way to get Maple points. You can grind for Mesos in the regular server, sell those Mesos for Maple points in the Meso market, and then you can also buy a pet that way. Around 1 billion Mesos goes for 13k Maple points in the Luna server, so that way you can go completely free to play. We already are around level 150, but I want to go through some content first to get more gear. If you're training a mule character, you can just skip this content and continue training at, for example, Temple of Time or the Coninck Tower. However, if you are building up a main and want to focus on solo progression, I recommend completing the Mushroom Shrine questline. This questline takes about 90 minutes to complete, and this area will reward a nice medal with temporary stats, a title and a cape that has some nice bonus stats. If you can't get carried in normal Magnus to get Tyrant gear later on, then this cape will do. You can also drop the cape and request a new one if you aren't happy with the bonus stats as well, which is very convenient. By the way, if you have any tips yourself, make sure to leave a comment and share your knowledge. Next up we start the Commercy questline. In this area you can work towards some great accessories and get some other decent equipment as well. You want to complete the questline until you get the Get Rich Quickly quest. From that point on you can unlock Commercy Voyages. Here you can earn coins to get Sweetwater equipment. Make sure to include this in your dailies. You can also continue completing the questline here to get more mastery books and an epic potential scroll. The next area that I went to is Shanghai. Here you can find totems that have better stats than those from Afterlands, but with the downside that they only last for 1 month. There are 3 totems that you can find here in total, and also make sure to complete the quests in this area and check the daily mission board that you can find in town. Here you can collect again coins that you can trade with an NPC that's only available at certain times during the day. This NPC also has a chance to sell epic potential scrolls. Each channel has their own unique merchant, so keep changing channels until you find the items that you want. At this point I started doing the Temple of Time quest so we can unlock the Pink Bean boss fight. This boss has a chance to drop a great pocket item that is part of a boss set. To unlock your pocket slot you will need to get your charm to level 30. The easiest way to do that is to buy a trade boost potion that is usually available in event stores. You can also equip Zakuma helmets to get a charm boost, fuse those helmets to create a new one and then get another charm boost upon equipping them. It takes a bit longer, but if you want to save your coins or whatever event currency is currently active, that's a way to do it as well. Around level 160 I went to fight another boss, Horntail. This is another easy to defeat boss that will net you a boss crystal. It also has a chance to drop earrings which are part of a boss set. There is no long pre-quest for this boss or anything like that, so it is a must do. You should be able to fight normal Horntail without much trouble at this point. Just make sure to bring potions. And actually we found the earrings that we were looking for with epic potential and nice flame stats. Nice! If you are just creating link skills or legion mules, you can ignore the following piece of content as well, but if you're working on solo progression, this one is a must do. The Hyzen Temple questline. This questline actually unlocked a bit earlier, but I recommend waiting until level 160, so at least you can progress through this area a bit faster. This area rewards a really nice ring if you play through the dungeon as Kana, and a belt and shoulder edge if you play as Hayato and Ayame. Those are not bad either for their set effect, and they will definitely help your solo progression go a bit faster. It takes around 30 minutes to 1 hour to go through the entire dungeon per class, so make sure to plan accordingly. Starting from level 160 onwards, you can start going to future Hennessy's. I like to train at the slime map here, but the snail map is not so bad either. You can also keep training in the Coninck Tower or go to the Colossus area and Livre. At level 165 you can also unlock a prequest here to defeat the Cygnus Empress in future JayBEEF. It's called Scouting the Stronghold. Make sure to do that one as well if you want to rid the world of this evil Cygnus Empress. If all these maps are not really to your liking, you can always try the Omega sector at the bottom of Ludibrium. There are some great maps to grind there as well, like the Star Force maps in the UFO. At level 170 you can also try the Cretius maps in Livre, and around level 180 I went to the Stronghold in future JayBEEF. At level 180 the boss Gollux unlocks as well. When fighting Gollux at this stage, make sure to defeat all his body parts before facing the head, else you'll have a bad time. Gollux will be your main source of rings, earrings, pendants and belts, so make sure to collect those coins and equipment. I actually got a bit bored of grinding, so I did the Fox Valley team dungeon. This is completely optional, but I do like to switch things up every now and then. Around level 190 I recommend to start going to Future Period. The stump maps are pretty good, Forsaken Excavation Site 2 is even better, and the Fiery Ravine map isn't too bad either. And remember, you can always get the final 50% at level 199 from the Scrapyard Introduction quest. We are level 200, but our journey is just beginning, with new dailies in the Arcane River areas and 5th job skills at your disposal. Keep defeating bosses to get better gear and grind monsters to get more mesos. Or create a new character if you find out you don't really enjoy the one you're playing right now. If you want to continue with your character, look into clearing the Monad and Mysteria True Time blockbusters for a great ring and title. Make sure to do the Magnus pre-quest and do the blockbusters like Heroes of Maple and Black Heaven as well. Those do take quite a while though, so I only recommend doing those if you really are focusing on this character as a main. I hope this video was useful and gives some pointers on how to get to level 200 on Reboot. And that was all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Alex, Jeff Wang, Pinky Traveler, Terry Kim, Jiju, Galaxy Art, Augustus Roderiguez, Varees, Ryaiser, Aryu, Dries, Plax, Zenny, Wiley, Kevin Han, Francisco Sosa, History Cannon, Backspace OTI, Riley Frank, Simak, Saffronix, Lonzo BG Extremes, Caveman, oh yeah, Harry Gardner, Estavao Silva, Ido Hyman, Anwar NHI, Brandon, Frank Bouget, Ziggy Deer, Fine Asian Guy, Mr. Potemkin and Flidiot. If you'd like to mention you as well and get early access to new videos, make sure to check out that join button below the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!